All right, let's tackle one of the biggest questions for parents everywhere. We're going to dive into some really fascinating neuroscience to figure out the truth. Is there really a golden window for teaching a child a new language? And if so, when does it open? And maybe more importantly, when does it close?
So, have you ever caught yourself wondering about this? You are definitely not alone. We all want to give our kids this amazing skill, but there's always that little voice asking, did I start too early? Or, oh no, is it already too late? Well, get ready for some fantastic news, because the science here is way clearer and more exciting than you might think. Okay, so let's get right into it. The whole answer really hangs on this idea that neuroscientists call a critical period. Just think of it like a biological window of opportunity. It's a special time when a child's brain isn't just ready to learn a language, it's literally designed for it. And you know when that window opens? The second they're born. Our journey starts with the very first window, and this one is all about sound. You see, for the first few years of life, an infant's brain has this kind of auditory superpower, something that we as adults have completely lost. And get this, there's an amazing term for this, from a researcher named Patricia K. Kuhl. She calls babies citizens of the world. Why? Because for a short time, their brains are totally wired to hear the building blocks of every single language on the planet. I mean, from the sharp clicks in Xhosa to the subtle tones in Mandarin. It's an ability we just don't have anymore. So what happens to this incredible superpower? Well, the brain actually starts to sculpt itself. As you can see right here, before their first birthday, it's a universal listener. But after that, a process called synaptic pruning kicks in. The brain masterfully chisels away the connections it doesn't need to make the ones it uses all the time, like the sounds of its native language, much, much stronger. This is exactly why exposing them to different languages early on is so powerful. All right, so let's move on to the second window. This phase is less about hearing all the individual sounds and more about absorbing the deep, complex structure of a language, the grammar, to get that effortless, native-like fluency we all dream of. So here it is, the big number you need to remember, 10. The research is crystal clear on this one. If the goal is for a child to have that natural, automatic grasp of a second language's grammar, just like a native speaker, they really need to start learning it before they hit their 10th birthday. And look, this isn't just a random guess from some small study. That age 10 cutoff comes from a massive piece of research by a team at MIT, Harvard, and Boston College. They analyzed data from, get this, over 670,000 people. That is a staggering amount of evidence, and it all points to the unique power of that preteen brain. This timeline really lays it all out, doesn't it? Before age 10, that's the absolute peak for getting that native-like feel for a language. Now, you can still get really, really good at grammar up until about age 18, but after that, the way our brain learns just changes. It becomes more of a conscious, textbook-style process. It's totally still possible, of course, but that magic of just soaking it all up is pretty much gone. Okay, but learning another language is about so much more than just being able to order a meal on vacation, right? The benefits are deep. We're talking about fundamentally rewiring the brain's hardware for the better. I absolutely love this metaphor because it's so true. Just think about it for a second. Every single time a bilingual person speaks, their brain is doing this incredible juggling act. It's constantly choosing one language while pushing the other one aside. This nonstop mental gymnastics is an amazing workout for the brain's command center. And that command center is what psychologists call our executive function. As you can see here, these aren't small things. These are the crucial, high-level skills we depend on every single day to plan our lives, to solve tough problems, and to maintain our focus and self-control. The important stuff. And here is the payoff. Amazing research by Professor Ellen Bialystok has shown again and again that bilingual kids consistently outperform their monolingual friends in all of these areas. That constant brain workout directly translates into stronger problem solving, sharper focus, and better self-control. That's a cognitive edge that can last a lifetime. Okay, so we've covered the when and the why. Now let's get to the part that really matters, the how. What does all this science say is the best way to actually put this incredible knowledge into practice? It really just boils down to 3 simple but super powerful strategies. First, start as early as you possibly can. Remember those citizens of the world? Second, a really effective method is one person, one language, where each parent just consistently speaks one language. It helps the child's brain build these clean, separate pathways. And third, and this one is absolutely non-negotiable, You have to prioritize real, face-to-face human interaction. This quote from Patricia K. Kuehl, the researcher we mentioned earlier, says it all. Her work proved that babies learned literally nothing from just watching or listening to a foreign language on a screen. But when a real person spoke that exact same language with them, their brains just lit up. Language, at its very core, is social. So, when you pull all of this together, the science of the growing brain, the lifelong cognitive benefits, that beautiful open window of opportunity, it becomes so clear. This isn't just about adding another class to a kid's schedule. It's about giving them a profound and lasting gift. You have the chance to literally shape their mind, to expand their ability to think, and to connect them to a whole other world of people and culture. It's one of the most powerful gifts you could ever give. So the only question left is, what gift will you choose?